Let's get started, Falcons fans. We have some exciting updates to dive into today. The Falcons are welcoming back a familiar face, and there's a big player move happening in Atlanta, along with other news. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button so you never miss an update on the Falcons. You won't want to miss a second of what's coming up. Great news for Falcons Nation. The Atlanta Falcons are bringing back veteran wide receiver and return specialist Jacem Grant. If his name sounds familiar, it's because Grant was with the team during training camp. Unfortunately, an injury forced him to step away, and he took an injury settlement. But now, just a few months later, he's back on the practice squad with hopes of making a difference on the main roster. Why bring back Jacem Grant now? It's simple. The Falcons need a boost in the return game. This season, our return game has been, let's say, a bit inconsistent. Avery Williams has shown promise on punt returns, but the kickoff return game hasn't seen much success with him or Ray McCloud. Enter Jacem Grant, a former Pro Bowl returner who had a standout season in 2021. The hope is that he can bring back some of that spark to strengthen our special teams. But let's be real, Falcons fans. Grant has dealt with injuries that have kept him off the field for long stretches in 2022, 2023, and even earlier this year. It's been a challenging road back to full health. So while there's hope, we should keep our expectations balanced. If he can stay healthy and bring even a portion of what he's capable of, Grant could be just the spark our special teams need. What do you think? Could Jacem Grant be the game changer we're looking for, or is this move too risky? All right, let's shift gears and talk about some future planning. Looking ahead to the 2025 offseason, we're only partway through the 2024 NFL season, but it's never too early to start planning for the offseason, especially with a few gaps that need filling. One name that's already being mentioned for the Falcons is Nick Gates from the Philadelphia Eagles. According to Bleacher Report's scouting department, Gates could be a possible free agent target for Atlanta in 2025. Why? Look at Nick Gates. Our starting center, Drew Dalman, is nearing the end of his contract, and other key players on the interior line, like Elijah Wilkinson and Matt Hennessy, will also be free agents soon. With the possibility of a major shakeup in our offensive line, Gates could be a smart choice. He's versatile, having played 4 out of 5 positions on the line over his 6-year career, and he's affordable. This season, he's with the Eagles on a contract just over $1 million, a budget-friendly option. But here's the catch. The Falcons are projected to have just under $11.6 million in cap space for free agency, so we'll need to spend wisely. Gates fits the profile perfectly as a solid veteran signing who could strengthen our offensive line without breaking the bank. So, Falcons fans, what's next? From the potential spark Jacem Grant might bring to our return game to offseason moves like Nick Gates that could shape the future, there's a lot to think about. Do you believe Jacem Grant can revive our return game? And is Nick Gates the veteran presence we need on the line next season? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments. In other news, defensive setbacks. The Falcons might be facing a big loss on defense. A key defensive lineman, James Smith-Williams, our top tackler for losses, suffered an injury in the 2017 game against the New Orleans Saints. Though he managed to return after the injury happened on the first play of the second half, the outlook isn't promising. Head coach Raheem Morris hinted that this could be a serious setback, saying, "We'll have some things there that we have to talk about." Evaluating the situation with Smith-Williams. The update on James Smith-Williams' injury isn't as hopeful as we'd like. Over the next few days, the team will reevaluate his status, but this could be a major setback. Since joining us from the Washington Commanders, Smith-Williams has become a reliable starter in the past 5 games, with 24 tackles, 1 sack, and 7 tackles for loss while playing in nearly half of the defensive snaps. If he's sidelined, it would be a blow to our pass rush, a unit that's already struggling with just 9 sacks this season. With Smith-Williams possibly out, The pressure is on to find new ways to bring heat on the quarterback. Players like Kadaril Kareem from the practice squad and D'Angelo Malone, who has been getting more snaps, may need to step up. But can they make the impact we need? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Tough day for Younghoe Koo. Switching topics, let's talk about Younghoe Koo. Known for his consistency, Koo had a rough outing against the Saints, missing 3 field goals in a close game. Those missed kicks ultimately cost us the win. On our Tuesday Take segment, Kevin Knight and Tran Diaz debated whether it's time to be concerned about Koo's reliability. What do you think, Falcons fans? Was this just a bad day, or could it be the start of a bigger issue? Addressing the pass rush. We need to talk about our pass rush, or the lack of it. Against the Saints, our defense managed 0 sacks and only 1 quarterback hit. Derek Carr had a comfortable game with 25 pass attempts and barely any pressure. This was disappointing, especially after we performed well against Dallas, getting 3 sacks and 7 hits on the quarterback. So what went wrong? Coach Raheem Morris believes it wasn't a step backward, but rather a result of the Saints' offensive style. Under coordinator Clint Kubiak, they used a mix of run and play-action plays that kept our defense off balance. Still, our defense did hold the Saints to just 96 rushing yards, their lowest this season. So what's your take on our pass rush struggles? The challenge of playing against a Shanahan-style offense. One reason we struggled to pressure Derek Carr was the Saints' offensive system. As Coach Raheem Morris put it, when you play against a Kyle Shanahan-style offense, you're forced to stay on your toes. The Falcons had to prepare for runs, even on second and long plays, which limited our chances to get after the quarterback. Despite these challenges, Carr still managed to connect on big plays, including 2 long throws to Marquez Valdez-Scantling that led to touchdowns. But here's the silver lining. The defense showed resilience in the second half, holding Carr to just 73 yards on 6 of 11 passing and forcing 3 quick punts. The pass rush issue. Yet the lack of consistent pass rush pressure remains a big concern. Falcons fans, what's your take? Do you think it's more of a coaching issue, a personnel issue, or maybe even both? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Facing our challenges together. We've got some hurdles ahead. There's the uncertain status of James Smith-Williams, Younghoe Koo's recent struggles, and a pass rush that's still finding its footing. But if there's one thing we know about the Falcons, it's that we know how to bounce back. What are your thoughts on these challenges? How should the Falcons adjust for Week 11 against the Broncos? Let me know what you think about Koo, the pass rush, and Smith-Williams' status in the comments. Before we wrap up, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Go Falcons!